Bloopers and outtakes. Take two.
Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Welcome to the Ewing Barbecue, where we talk about Dallas. My name is Mary.
I'm Josh, and Melanie is
is trying to make sure one of her cats is not about to do something very naughty in that corner. But carry on.
Brad and Sarah are attending a boutique opening this week, so they will not be with us.
Yeah, they're meeting with some fashion designers.
Exactly.
And if you hear anything in the background, my dog is watching ducks in the yard, and it's driving him insane, and he's losing his goddamn mind, and he doesn't have much. He's like the stupidest dog ever. I love him. Dumb as a box of rocks.
That reminded me of the Instagram story that Alex and Josh posted about taking their dog for a walk and started going after the ducks down by the pond. It was kind of silly. Yeah, they wanted to eat the
Puppies.
ducks. Yes.
Awesome. All right. So, blah, 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 blah. I would like to give a shout out to our Patreon members at the rodeo level and up. Brendan Fillick, Captain America, Carrie Carver, Amy Hara, Eric Christensen, Dr. Cindy Corliss, Jennifer Blake, Richard Lundberg, Marie Johnson, Corey Springhorn, Michael Jung, Jason Carter, excuse me, Jennifer Indelicato, Laura Bernheim, Carl Reinch, Anita Wren, and Kristen Carlano. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, and thank you for keeping us alive and going.
Yeah.
And continuing
So,
to prosper on this journey.
Anybody have any news from this week? Personal life stuff? Anything? Updates?
Let's see.
What do you want to know?
I don't know. What is there to know?
Nothing really.
Nothing.
Same old this week. What are we drinking? Are we
Right
drinking
today, because
J.R. Ewing bourbon as always.
I just barely made it here today, FYI. I'm drinking a Waterloo raspberry, so it's not anything alcoholic, but I didn't have time. And I also had COVID this past week, and I'm finally testing negative. So that's
Sorry, dude.
If my voice sounds a little weird, it's because of that. I'm a little mucus.
Have you been
Did you have
sneezing
some
a lot
nasty
too?
symptoms?
Yeah. Huh? It was actually, because this is the second time I've had it. The first time, like, I thought I was on my deathbed, and I was sick for like 2 weeks, and then I had a cough for 4 months. It was awful. This time I thought I had just a cold, and then I felt bad for a day, and then I've been absolutely fine since. So I don't know. I prefer this time.
I only had it pass through me once with no symptoms.
You're so lucky.
I don't know that I've ever had it. I've never tested positive. And I'm vaxxed like times 5, so.
Yeah, I mean, same.
I don't
Second
know.
time I've
That
had
doesn't mean I might not have like had it pass through without
That's true.
any
That's
symptoms.
true. Yeah.
But
because I only tested because I noticed that we had tests that were about to expire, and I had this cold, and I was like, well, I'll just use it, and then it was just like positive, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's the only reason I tested it in 2022 is because we had kits that were going to expire, and it was that weekend that I had been dehydrated because it was the first hot weekend of summer, and I did not drink a lot of water. And then when I drank water and electrolytes, I was fine. But you told me,
Weird.
oh, you might want to go test.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
it's
was like,
always
all right,
good to
I have
just
the kit lying
test.
around,
And I missed
but I had no symptoms.
amazing
Otherwise,
concert.
I would never have known.
Yeah. I had tickets to see Beth Gibbons from one of my favorite bands of all time, Portishead. I've never seen her live. I've never seen Portishead play. And I had to give up the tickets because I was testing positive.
that's so
I'm a little salty about it.
Yeah, that's understandable. You know what? I had strep throat back in 2015, and my intention, I had asked for the night off. I didn't get it, but I wanted to go see Fleetwood Mac. I didn't get the night off. I was disappointed. I ended up having strep throat and didn't work anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
Did you ever end up seeing Fleetwood Mac anywhere after that, or no?
I did not. First, they kicked Lindsey Buckingham out, and then Christine McVie died. So now I'm like, I saw a cover band a couple weekends ago that were great. Rumors ATL, check them out, guys. Highly recommend.
Speaking of music, I want to highly recommend the new album from Elton John and Brandy Carlisle, which is getting rave reviews. It just came out last Friday. It's positive, fast, upbeat music that we need happy music in this world now. because of
You
all
know,
that's
you're not
going on.
wrong. You're not wrong. We need anything positive and happy right now.
Yeah. Like,
Speaking of
have a
positive,
room to dance in if you can.
right? Speaking of positive and happy, is anybody celebrating a birthday this week?
Our own Jana Tim celebrated on April 8th.
Happy birthday,
So
Jenna.
Yesterday.
we send greetings out yesterday, yes, which
Nice.
was the
Yesterday.
anniversary of
The first episode,
1990. We had
the pilot episode of Twin
pilot of
Peaks.
Twin Peaks
Yep.
and the
And
passing of Ryan White, which
yeah.
occurred within half
And
a day of
Vanity
each
Fair
other
had
on
a
the same
second
day.
article about Twin Peaks and just like its whole impact on society and pop culture and all the TV shows now. And it was not mentioned in this one, but that was just a clever way for me to throw in again that I was in Vanity Fair earlier this year about Twin Peaks.
Yes, you were. Yes, you
Of
were.
course.
Sorry, I just
Do
had to
you have an
because
agent? Are you
that's never
signing?
going to happen
Are
again.
you autographing copies? Are you autographing copies?
For sure, yeah.
You will have them with us at the South Fork Experience, right there on the table to autograph.
Yes, because we are officially, well, Melanie is not going to be there, I believe, but everyone else.
Melanie will be there in spirit and will be
I'll be there in
represented by
spirit.
Jana Tim.
We should
Spirits
have,
and spirits. Yes.
maybe we'll have to get like
Jana
a cardboard
Tim
cutout
will be representing you.
of you,
Totally. Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
can take pictures with the cardboard cutout. We did that for
Not gonna.
We will.
my
Not gonna
nephew,
lie. That'd be a little creepy.
but also kind
But
of amazing.
But you totally have my permission.
And we are
We will
hoping
be
that we will
there.
have
I'll
some.
make it something silly like.
There we go. We're going to have merch too. We're going to come and we're going to have actual merch to sell at the table this year. And because that's what I'm on it. I'm trying to figure it out right now. So,
And you and
Nice.
Sarah will be handling all that, and
yes,
probably Brad, Jana, and I will be going around interviewing people and
sure.
capturing the whole weekend.
And speaking of Brad and
Q&A.
Jenna, they've officially have been added to our website finally, because I finally updated our website after like 6 months.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Hey, it's all good.
And
These things take time.
Fanboy Expo in Knoxville on the weekend of July 11th. Charlene Tilton, Patrick Duffy, Linda Gray, Steve Canale, and now Josh Henderson has been
Knoxville,
added.
Tennessee. That's like 4 hours from here.
Melanie's
When is it
wheels are
again?
turning. July 11th
What?
weekend.
July 11th.
I'm not sure how easy it would be for me to get out there in my Mustang because I don't know what roads are rebuilt. I think there's at least one major highway that's open into Tennessee.
Was that the hurricane damage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Helene,
you haven't
yeah.
been. The storms recently with the flooding, that's not in your. That's more west of you, like in the
Yeah,
Midwest.
you mean the
I know
Hurricane
Kentucky
Helene?
and Cincinnati. No, there was storms recently with flooding that went through
Not
the
here.
Midwest. That didn't come to you towards you. Okay, that's good.
I don't think so. We've been having
Bad for the people out there. Bad for the people.
So the area that got hit with hurricanes and the flooding in the fall are now dealing with wildfires.
God.
Yeah.
This year, I swear to God.
And our governor tried to get $1 billion in aid for Helene, and the state legislature was like, yeah. So we're dealing with some shit down here, but
Oh my God.
yeah, I was like, oh my God,
We won't go
Knoxville.
into
And then it was like,
politics,
oh
though.
God, are the roads built? I don't know. We shall see. I haven't tried to go any further west than like the Boone area. Like I haven't gone out towards Asheville since like the month before it happened. I don't, they need our business, but I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's up and running yet. A lot of our favorite stuff got destroyed.
Ugh,
Mother
terrible.
Nature can be a cruel.
She a bee
mate.
sometimes.
Y'all. Anywho, sorry guys.
Let's go quickly through some April birthdays real fast here. 1944, April 3rd, Hunter von Leer, who played B.D. Calhoun. So he is 81.
I'm just going to say, I love
April-
that storyline, and I don't care what anybody says. Carry on.
Oh, I loved it too.
Looking forward to
There
seeing
were
it
some good
again.
storylines that
I
year.
haven't in many, many years.
It gets a lot of shit and a lot of flack for being over the top, but I'm like, when you sit there and listen to the dialogue, this is like some terrorist shit. Anyway,
And that's
no,
the stuff that
spoilers.
was happening at the time. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
When we get to season 9, 10, yeah, in a few years.
Yeah.
Couple years.
Yeah. James L. Brown, McSween, died April 11th, 1992. Howard Keel would have a birthday. He'd be 106 on April 13th. Stephanie Blackmore, who played Serena, also born on April 13th, 1948. Michael Aldridge, I don't have what roles he played. He was probably a bit player or reoccurring something. April 13th, 1941. Our own beamskin rug, Randolph Powell. April 14th, 1950.
What was the
75
Michael Aldridge?
years old. Michael Aldridge. Are you going to look him up?
Yeah.
Holly Harwood,
1920,
Lois Childs.
1999,
Lois
1920, 1994.
Lois Childs. 1947. She will be 78 on the 15th. Buddy there, Tyler Banks, John Ross number 1, 1979. He is going to be 46. And we did a special on Ken Kercheval right after he passed, right after we started.
Yep.
He passed April 21st.
Okay, so this guy played Ray King, police detective Don Horton, and Steve Jackson. 9 episodes of Dallas altogether. Is Michael Aldridge, and his first name is Dennis. Dennis Michael Aldridge. Aldridge with 2 L's and 2 L's. And an E instead of an I. He was also in Scarface, by the way.
Say hello to my little friend. Burt Remsen, Dandy Dandridge, died April 22nd, 1999. Our beloved Jim Davis, April 26th, 1981, he died, and that happened to be the first birthday of Jordana Brewster, who was born April 26th, 1980. So
Crazy.
that is
Also,
a rundown of
April
the month
20
in case we're not back.
April 26th is one of those dates. It's also the day Lucille Ball died. It was also the day Carol Burnett was born.
Wow.
I remember when Lucille
lot of April
Ball
26th.
died.
Me too.
I was on a tour of our ABC affiliate, Channel 5, and we got the news over the AP wire as we were there before the public found out.
Wow. That's cool.
I want to know, because I was so little, what was the public reaction like?
For me,
Well,
I was in the 7th grade when that happened, and that was a real, like, one of those, like, oh my gosh, like, someone I actually know who's famous that died. In fact, I remember
It was kind of like Larry's death for me, honestly. I was like,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
What you were
I had no words when Larry passed.
1?
It was
You were
just-
1?
When I was not quite 3.
Okay. Right. Oh, right. Because you're not 88. You're 86.
Yeah, I was almost 3.
Right,
I was making you 2 years younger.
right.
I'll take it.
I just remember being shocked when it just hearing it because I was
Yeah.
at the news place at the time. That's it. I tried to
Bing.
cover
Okay.
all of April,
Maybe.
Okay.
so that way we can,
Just in case.
in case we're not back, just in case.
Just in case. Okay.
I'm gonna say hello to some of our people out there.
Yeah, say hello to our people who are watching live on Twitch.
Hello.
And if you have not tuned in, we are live on twitch.tv/EwingBBQ whenever we record. And if you would like to know when we're recording, you can subscribe to us on Twitch. It's free and you'll get little notifications. And also, if you subscribe to us on Patreon, also at the free level and anywhere above, a lot of the time I will send out a little like notice that we're going to record. Now, I did not do that today, but that's because I had a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I tried.
it's been a few weeks here.
Not bad. So tonight we are talking about season 7, episode 16. Some do, some don't.
I'll quit the government before I give you any information on those bids. If you resign, I'm going to give that information I have to every newspaper in this country.
What do you want?
I don't want to hurt you. And I don't want to be hurt either.
Bobby and Jenna belong together. After all, he is the father of her little girl.
Now, you don't know that.
Oh, yes, I do. I've known for a long time.
I want you. I really want you.
And I feel like I'm picking up what they're putting down by what they mean about that in this episode.
Do you care to elaborate?
Yeah, I'm curious to know what you mean by that.
What
Should get
some
to it,
people
I guess, right?
do in this episode and some people definitely don't.
I'm looking over my notes going,
Well, this is
It's the sex. It's the sexual things. That's what I was. But I also have a dirty mind.
this aired on Inauguration Day in '84. I noticed. No,
But we weren't inaugurating anyone, were we?
no, that would have been
Ronald
inaugurated
Reagan
in
was
85.
Yeah, 85.
oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
'84 was.
So
not
this
here.
was written by Leonard Katzman, directed by Larry Hagman, and aired January
Lenny.
20th, 1984, which is the day after my 8th birthday. Hi.
1 year before Inauguration Day.
1 year before we inaugurated Reagan for the second time. Ba-dum-bum. Also on that day, the number one song in the US was Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes. In the UK, it was Pipes of Peace by Paul McCartney. And the number one
That's
R&B
hanging on.
song was, it really is, for a song I don't know at all. The number one R&B song is Joanna by Kool and the Gang. The number one film
I
is
remember
still
that song.
Terms of Endearment. In the news, Rosalind Sumners won the U.S. Female Figure Skating Championship, showcasing her exceptional skill and athleticism in the competitive world of figure skating. Born this day is Tony Gonzaga, a prominent Filipina actress, singer, television host, and YouTube personality. She would later become a significant figure in Philippine entertainment and media. Also, Olivia Hallinan, who is a British actress who I was going to see what she's in, but I haven't seen anything, so that she's in. So I today, rock and R&B legend Jackie Wilson passed away at age
Lonely
49
Teardrops.
from a heart attack.
How old?
Jackie Wilson was 49.
Oh, I thought you
Okay.
said 29 for a second. That's
Right,
still young.
but Jackie Wilson, I know Jackie Wilson, and I always thought Jackie Wilson was old, but turns out Jackie Wilson died when they are the same age I am now. And no,
Jackie
And
Wilson is Lonely Teardrops and Higher singer guy, right?
Yeah, known for hits like Lonely Teardrops and Baby Workout. Wilson was a pivotal figure in the development of rock and roll and soul music in the 1950s and 1960s.
He has
and
some good stuff.
he is paid tribute to in the song Night Shift by the Commodores.
Also died today was Johnny Weissmuller, legendary Olympic swimmer and actor best known for playing Tarzan in 12 films between 1948.
That's where I've heard.
And on Dallas.
And on Dallas, this was the lowest ranked episode of the season, coming in at number 6. Apparently, JR blackmailing Edgar Randolf did not hold people's interest enough the following week to keep it at its previous ranking of number 1. Co-star Kate
There must have
Vernon
been something
played
again. There must have been something against it, like a game or something.
What, January? You said January 84?
Yeah, January 20th, 84, a Friday night.
College football.
I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't alive in January 1984. Somebody please tell me.
It's fair. It's fine.
It would not have been college football because all those bowls are played on New Year's Day, so they're done by around then.
I was thinking in terms of the Super Bowl. Never mind.
Right. Co-star Kate Vernon played the Lorraine Prescott on Falcon Crest, and Tony Danza's girlfriend Kathleen on Who's the Boss. Let's see. Larry Hagman apparently used to tease Morgan Brittany that once Catherine slept with JR, her character would no longer be useful to the plot, and she would be killed off, as serial characters frequently were. It was a thing on soap operas, said Brittany, but Larry used to tease her about it.
I mean,
well,
I mean, he wasn't totally wrong, but
it wasn't.
That guy, every time
immediate.
he told a joke, there was like half truth behind it.
Right. It was hilarious.
That's what made it funny.
Oh yeah. But Priscilla Presley said about Patrick Duffy, who once again became Jenna's actual lover in this episode. Patrick was a very professional actor, lots of fun to work with. She doesn't think she ever saw him miss one line or have more than 2 takes for a scene, even though he joked around all the time. And she felt that Bobby was the love of Jenna's life, even though she married Naldo Marchetta, as Morgan Brittany keeps saying.
I would 100% agree with that.
Yes. Jen, lots of horses in this first shot.
Yes. We
like loaded with horses.
We open on South Fork and all the horses running around just outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut into the kitchen where I love this scene. And I just wanted to say, like, preface by saying, like, this is what I think makes good Dallas. And this separates Dallas from other Dallas. And what is missing. They had this a little bit in the earlier Dallas.
Other Dallas.
But like later Dallas and then the new Dallas totally missed this, which is just like people.
Have we divided eras into Dallas?
We should.
Era 1.0, 2.0? Because I know people call the reboot 2.0, but I'm like, is it really like 3 or 4?
Because I feel like this is really maybe the third, because they had it where it was like just the episodes that weren't really continuations, and then we started having a continuous story.
Self-contained episodes.
Self-contained episodes, and then continuous story, and then this is where Phil Capice takes over as executive producer, and I feel like you can feel You can feel the difference.
Do we know who the showrunners were from season to season?
It was Leonard Katzman, and then it was Phil Capice.
Okay, so they use executive producer more than showrunner back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
And then
Okay.
That's usually
Leonard
what it
came
means to be an
back
executive
after-
producer.
And then Leonard came back after after Larry wanted Phil gone.
Right. He wanted Phil gone.
Yeah.
Which I'm just going to state once again. I know, controversial, but I don't care. And maybe a hot take, but I think that was a mistake. Just going to say it.
Hey, you know what? If you can't criticize your favorites, then
That's right. That's right. I love it enough to be able to criticize it.
well, yeah. And that's,
I think that Leonard and Phil both brought
people are human.
good things to the table, and you need the right blend of the two styles to mesh in a way.
I guess. I just really prefer Phil Capice's. Well, because the things he hated about it are the things I like about it. So, you know.
Right. They both
Which
have
is
their
that
strong
women
points.
having actual storylines and talking to each other.
I mean,
You
that's
mean they're
important.
not just they're not just accessory props for the men?
Well, that's literally Leo's problem.
Newsflash.
He said it was becoming a woman show. Okay. All right, buddy. Cool.
We need more masculine energy.
Yeah.
Fuck you. No, you.
But anyway, this scene
No,
is exactly
Leonard,
what I like
you need
about
the
it.
right balance of each. I like
need to
that.
calm
They're just sitting
down.
around talking about. I love hearing their story about their trip to Jamaica.
This is a very Phil Capice moment where they're just talking about character things. And we're getting character development. And it doesn't really have to do with a lot of the plot, but it's like, it's more realistic. It makes it more well-rounded, in my opinion. Lucy and Donna are making muffins, while Clayton and Ellie are telling them stories about their trip. And the first is a funny story about 15 high school teachers from Paramus, New Jersey, who all had a little thing for Clayton and wanted to dance with him. So he danced with them till 2 a.m. And then the next morning went out swimming with them in the water, and the tide was a little strong and he lost his swimming trunks.
And therein went
He
the
was-
mystery for Miss Ellie.
So he was flapping in the wind in the ocean. He was flapping in the ocean. Just like porn
Can you-
stash
can
when
you
he
see her
naked
face?
skydives.
Can you see her face? Bye.
And then
And-
he gets back at her, though. And then
he
he
does.
tells the story about how she tried to be cool and order at a French restaurant in French, but she doesn't speak French that well.
And she ordered what?
Accidentally. The head of veal.
The head of veal, not just veal.
Head of veal. Which it just reminded me of that scene from
Is
90210
that-
when they're in France.
Is that like the brains?
Well, that's what they were eating in 90210. She ordered, I think, well, it might have been pig's brains.
Oh,
Or it was either
God.
pig's brains
It
or
was
veal brains. Yeah, so and this was, they said, the head of veal. So you're eating the
Rest
head
in
of a
peace, Shannon
baby cow.
Doherty.
oh my God, that's like terrible. Number one, number two. Because me and Chad have been watching Dahmer.
I
I
still
hadn't,
Are you talking
I
about
hadn't seen it yet.
I haven't
Ryan,
seen it
the
yet
Ryan,
either.
the Ryan Murphy one with Evan Peters?
Evan Peters. Yep,
I love Evan Peters.
I think I'm on episode 6 or 7. I'm just bouncing around.
that's about where we
He's
are.
a very good actor. I like
I
him on American Horror Story.
He's a
He's-
fantastic actor.
He's really a good actor, and he's also really pretty.
That too. That
And
doesn't
there's
hurt.
A bunch of episodes are directed by Jennifer Lynch, David Lynch's daughter.
No kidding. Okay.
Pretty. That's a very good word to describe him. Like Cody Fern from American Horror Story. Pretty. There's some people that are pretty. Yes.
He's pretty.
I haven't watched
So Ellie
AHS
eats.
in years.
Ellie thought she was eating veal chops, but no.
Nasty.
Brain.
But at the same time, can we also talk about that fucking rock that she has on her finger? Like, she's sitting there talking to Donna and everybody, and all I see is like shine, shine, shine.
It's just like hitting people in the face.
Big ass rock, and I'm just like, damn woman, like, how does that? I need to ask anybody who has a large rock, how does that not like weigh your whole hand down? Like, doesn't that get weird having something right there?
You get used to it. So then Ray comes in, and he and Clayton are going to go to an auction in Fort Worth today. And as they leave, Donna reminds Ellie of how lucky she is that Clayton wants to marry her.
And
And I love cattle auctions. I just love that's another thing that is very Dallas.
Agree.
Miss Ellie seems a little, I don't know, kind of like she was
Off?
enjoying herself. Yeah, she was like enjoying herself when Clayton was there and they were all making fun of her, and then, like they take off and she's talking to Donna.
Donna senses that. Donna senses
Mood shift.
Ellie's she kind of is a little distant.
Yeah, she's like, all right, what's going on with you? And Miss Ellie's like,
As soon as the word,
stuff.
it's like when the word marriage is dropped, it's like, whoop,
Mm-hmm.
pulls back. She retreats.
Something is bothering her. We don't know what it is yet.
A little something, something, something.
Something. So we cut to Ewing Oil, Travis Boyd, Bobby's old friend,
This
I
guy's
guess.
his eyes, holy fuck, his eyes were like piercing blue.
They really were.
Like,
Yeah.
I was fixated on this guy's eyes. I don't even know what happened to the whole scene. I was just like, God, those are blue. Sorry, guys.
I
Anyway.
love looking at blue eyes. I love looking at very intense blue eyes on anybody. It's just like they
Yeah.
draw your
Very
attention.
mesmerizing.
Just like,
Yeah.
whoa.
For sure. Yeah.
Mesmerizing, that's the word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Recessive gene with those blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis is admitting that he is not a businessman. He doesn't want to be a businessman. He is making his daddy's company go awry. And before it's not worth anything, he wants to just get rid of it and sell it so that he can use
That's
the money.
actually
and
very
go
smart.
It is. He's going to use the money and go skiing for the rest of his life, which is like fair.
Cool. Like, you are actually very wise when you realize that you don't know what the fuck you're doing to
Right.
sell and get out and just
Yeah.
like reap the benefits.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
don't
Right.
continue like dragging it down and going bankrupt and trying again. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Sell to somebody that knows what they're doing and can turn a profit and make a legitimate go of a business.
And
Or
his
just
enjoys
sell
it,
it and
you
get
know?
the
Take the
hell
money.
out of it.
Exactly.
Like, it's no longer your problem.
Do something that, right, go do something you want to do.
And so he's going to sell for about 40 million, which is like Bobby says that's a completely fair price. But he isn't quite sure because they, maybe what if they want to drill offshore? They don't know for sure. So he has to go talk to JR.
Always got to talk to JR about it because we can't do anything without JR. Blah, blah, blah.
Well,
Whatever,
that's what
dude.
you get when you agree to run the company together, even 50-50, and you have to make decisions together.
Right.
If
And,
Bobby
Bobby
hit
actually
this,
abides by that.
Oh my God, Bobby does the right thing.
I know. Weird. I know.
Saint Bobby again. Saint Bobby.
And then Peter meets with Sue Ellen, drives up in his Jeep.
Speaking of not the right thing.
Yeah.
God.
Because it sounds like she wants to talk, and she's like asking about school, and then she just flat out is honest, and she's like, I just don't want to feel responsible for your successes or lack thereof. And he's just like, are you breaking up with me again? And she's like, no, I'm not. And she's like, because I'm fond of you. I really like you. I don't want to hurt you, and I also don't want you to hurt me. So we have to figure
This is where this
out.
whole plot starts to piss me off. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it's where it's like, why are you being dumb again?
Yeah, right.
Like,
Just
leave it alone.
Just let
He
it
will
go.
be fine. He's
go,
young. He will
let
move
it
on. He will
go.
be fine. What are
Yes.
you doing?
Yep.
What are you doing?
Time
So-
will
Because
pass,
you
and
know
he
what's
will.
crazy? The crazy thing is, right now, I am right around Sue Ellen's age
Yeah.
in that period of time.
Mhm.
I can't imagine like messing around with a 20-year-old. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Like, he's young enough literally young enough to be my son. Like,
Well,
it's creepy.
mine is going to be 22 this summer. So,
Oh my God.
right. Insane.
Oh my God. Yeah, and it's just
So
like,
Melanie, that's like you going out with one of his classmates. That's just wrong.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's.
But I mean,
yeah.
again, consenting adults, but also, no, the storyline's not great.
yeah.
So Peter concedes that he knows that she is uncomfortable meeting at the apartment. She doesn't love it because it's, basically it's set up as just like a fuck pad.
Sex
Love
palace.
Shack. Yeah.
So he's like, okay, there's so many other things we can do. He's like, we could go bowling. We could go hiking. I'm like, can you imagine Sue Ellen doing either of those things?
No, he's got totally unrealistic expectations. He's asking this socialite billionaire's wife and
To go
mother to go bowling because he has a crush on her.
Yeah. Like, and give me that scene. Give me that scene of Sue Ellen bowling.
Can you imagine her throwing on her grubbies and just going out there and hiking through the hills?
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Which is throw on your grubbies, which is a line used later in the series with Donna and somebody else.
Is it? I don't remember that.
Yes. Andrew Dowling.
Birds.
Cattle auction.
Catalog.
Where's
Bro
Sarah when we
time.
need her?
I know, Sarah's really good at it. I'm not great.
Rose having bro time though.
They talk about, so it's Clayton and Ray, and basically they talk about their daddies, Pride, in South Fork.
Bro's having bro time.
Bro time.
Bro time.
Very interesting to think of Clayton as young and having a daddy that's still living, because we know him as only being older.
Mostly since he would be 106 today.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they said that South Fork was looking good, but because he's tired of living in a hotel, and so
Right.
he's considering.
He's overcoming his pride by being like, okay, I would just be comfortable there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Oil Barons Club. Donna and Edgar are having lunch where he tries to casually bring up JR and basically, hey, so you really think, I've heard things like he would blackmail people. Do you think he'd really do that? And
She's like, yeah.
she's like, oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, he's
By
a
the way,
terrible person.
So
how
they get
is
whatever he
she
wants?
how is she like not hitting anybody in the face with that hat constantly, all the time? Whenever
That-
she's like, hello, hello.
And how is she not picking up what is happening? Like immediately?
I don't
Because it
Picking
seems
up
pretty
what he's
obvious.
putting down.
She's not picking it up. She's just like, you have nothing to worry about because I've known you forever, and Sam knew you before that, and you have nothing to hide. Like, you don't know he has
What?
nothing to hide.
Donna, why would he be worried about blackmail if he didn't have anything to be
Why
blackmailed
would he
about?
be asking
He's-
these questions?
Like, she's
he's
so
launching
freaking
a-
smart. That was a very dumb question.
He's launching a help me flare into the air here. You're supposed to
Mhm,
see it
mhm.
and go, what's going
Yep.
on?
It's a little cry for help right now, and she's like,
But that would not that
Boy.
that would kind of disrupt the storyline and just kind of speed things up.
maybe. But, like, JR doesn't care what Donna thinks, so. So
Right.
basically, the scene ends with when she's like, you have nothing to hide, and Edgar, like, nervously laughing, like,
He's like, that's right, I don't.
yeah, well, nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Okay, we cut to an extreme close-up of Kendall at the Ewing Oil offices. And this is a very, like, Hagman's directing in this episode there's a lot of, like, moving camera, and there's a lot of paying attention to the smaller characters. There's a lot of time spent here with the secretaries for no other reason other than to get to know the secretaries.
And we love the secretaries because they love us.
Cherry's
Yes.
cool.
Bobby wants to talk about the Boyd deal. JR wants more info on the deal, but since Bobby doesn't trust him, not to sit on it, and he's not going to tell him a thing about it. He's like, yeah, I'm not actually going to tell you anything. And then he's just like,
Right. Last time that blew up in my face. So
right.
That's not.
So he's like, I gotta figure out what's going on. So he calls Sly in to get the tea from her, and so then he figures it out within like 3
I love that
seconds.
expression. Get the tea. Get the tea.
Which that comes up in later this episode. I'm really excited about. So he tells Sly to basically tell Cliff about all this stuff, and then she's like, well, yeah, but then won't he try to bid? And then he's like, yeah, I want Bobby to be super mad at the Barneses. I want the Barneses to be super mad at Bobby. Like, this would only work.
I want them
Be
out
a
of my
win.
life.
This is some serious, like,
Oh, totally, 100%.
I swear.
Mustache twirling.
Basically, yeah.
He's a lot of conniving this episode. Yeah.
Right. And we'll see how that plays out later in the episode, because it plays out in a way that is slightly different than I thought it would play out, but along the same line.
Yeah. So then we got to Jenna's condo. She's going through fabric samples with Charlie, who's like having a ball. And
Okay. Charlie's red nightgown reminds me of the gif of that little girl that's shaking her finger. Does it not? That
It
red
does.
nightgown is the same.
I think it is the same. That's hilarious. But Charlie is into this whole thing. She's super excited about the store. She wants to be involved. She's like, are you going to make clothes in my size? And then she volunteers to model.
She's bouncing all over the place. One week she's an excited 13-year-old to play with see John Ross's train, and now she's
She's just a
excited
happy
about.
kid. She's
Why
just
was
excited.
Charlie 13 for like 4 years? No, spoiler.
Because she was born on leap year.
Yeah.
Yes, February 29th.
There's a knock at the door. Knock, knock, knock. And now we have to add
It's Bubby.
to the drinking game. Every time Charlie says, Bobby, Mom, it's Bobby.
Bobby.
It's Bobby.
We're going to need new livers by the time we're done with this series.
Bobby.
Because it just
Bobby,
cracks me up every time.
Newport.
She's like, Bobby. And I love Charlie Wade, so I am not giving her shit. It's hilarious. So, drink. Bobby
Getting
arrives
another
in a
drink.
tux.
Oops.
And that is the moment that Jenna remembers, oh shit, I forgot we're supposed to be going out tonight.
Well, you know
We're
what?
supposed to
She
go to
owns a
the
boutique.
symphony.
This shouldn't be a problem.
Well, that's
Like, girl,
true.
bring your inventory home. Hello.
Yeah. And Bobby shows up and he's like, you forgot. And he's like, well, you have time. Go get ready. And she's like, I don't actually, I have, like, we're opening soon. Like, I have stuff to do. I'm sorry. And so then she's like, but you're here.
If you want your payments, money lender, then you're going to have to let me do this.
And she's like, do you want to see stuff? And he's like, absolutely not. I don't give a shit. He's like, I do want to go get pizza. Charlie, go get dressed. And then she's like, but you can't go get pizza in a tuxedo. And he's like, oh my God, you're right. Let's go get hamburgers.
Like, that's not going to make a mess with the tomato, the ketchup, and the whatever's on there dripping all over his suit. Tuxedo.
Yeah, this makes Charlie even more excited.
Ooh.
And then this kind of turns Jenna on. She starts swooning. And she's just like, hey.
Jelonies.
I just want to tell you that you are something else, Bobby Ewing. And he likes that. And then he's like, well, some night I'm going to have to remind you that you said that. And she like just looks at him dead in the face. She's like, some night you'd better do that.
Some night,
then,
some night she's going to rip that tuxedo off of him.
Yeah. And then they kiss. Yay. Okay.
So
and then we cut to
this next scene.
Yeah.
Sly, the lady broker. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Sly, the lady broker, as Cliff refers to her.
Right. And he's
the lady broker.
What about Cliff and Pornstash playing video games, like old Atari video games?
Yeah.
They are playing Missile Command
Oh my
on
God.
the Atari 2600, by the way. And I have a little thing about this because I looked it up because I was like, what exact video game is this? Missile Command, which was released on the system, was ported to the 2600 in 1981. The objective of the game is to defend cities from incoming missiles using anti-ballistic missiles. And a fun fact about it is there is no windscreen. So every time if you succeed and they don't kill you, the game just starts over at level 1 with trying to kill the rest of your bases. And so literally the game is designed for you to just keep playing and never win. And I feel like you will always lose that game, which I feel like is a very apt game for Cliff to be playing.
I had a
symbolism,
experience.
man.
I was doing.
Maybe Phil Capice was onto something.
What was I doing? I was doing a duck hunt on the Nintendo with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the score all the way around back to 0 in 4 hours.
Wow, I was terrible.
And then once I hit 0, I dropped it. I said I can't go any further, so I'm never playing this game again, and I never did.
That's hilarious. The dog always.
That was a mic drop moment.
That was a. The dog always laughed at me playing Duck Hunt.
Oh my God! Oh my God! That stupid dog.
Stupid dog.
Stupid dog.
Okay, so
Sly had balls to call Cliff at home.
Yeah, like what was she thinking?
The lady broker.
And like Afton knows this is total bullshit. She's just like, okay, one of your side pieces is calling, which is kind of funny because he doesn't have any side pieces, but Afton is convinced.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't help it being like, it's personal. I'm not going to tell you who I am.
I mean, he didn't exactly help things last week, did he?
No.
Sly
wants to
with
meet
Mary Lee.
Mary Lee.
She wants to meet tomorrow at 4 at Cody's on Pearl Street. And I looked and I don't think this was a real place.
And yet when we got to the exterior shot, it said cocktails in the window.
Well, yeah, but that's just what bars say is cocktails and stuff like that.
Right.
Advertising what they have.
It never showed a sign that said Cody's. It just said cocktail.
Right, which means it wasn't a real place. Because if it was a real place, I probably would have listed it. But he knows he's in trouble.
Right,
so that's what... After Sly hangs up, he just continues talking, having a fake conversation. And this is the lady broker part. And Afton doesn't buy it for a second. And do you notice that Pornstash is limping still?
Interesting.
He's having a little trouble with that tweaked knee from the tennis match.
Mm-hmm. Still bugging him.
You should go get that looked at.
Yeah. And this scene ends with Pornstash beating Cliff's score in Missile Command. South Fork night.
So John Ross, okay, he's jumping on the bed, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah. So cool.
He jumps on his bed a lot, I think.
The fact, did you guys notice that he said grandma and grandpa? Like he's already calling Clayton grandpa, and I was like...
I didn't catch that. Nice.
Yeah, and it's so nice because like they have this normal little family scene, and then they tuck in John Ross, give him kisses goodnight. JR like has to turn around and make sure the light is on for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, shades of JR actually being a nice guy. But, it's like, don't get pulled in by that.
Because he turns out to be a not bad dad.
He's not a terrible father, except that
Except
he,
for
you know,
a couple times
Nar-
he did some shady things.
narcissism breeds narcissism sometimes.
Yeah.
I like
But
how
yeah, he just like he gets back out in the hallway with Sue Ellen, and JR starts groveling. Sue Ellen, wouldn't it be nice if we like what do you say? Wouldn't I think we should have another child, something like that? And
Would you ever
she's
think
like,
about having another child? And she's
yeah,
like, hell no.
she's like,
not with you.
motherfucker, we're in separate bedrooms. Like she's like, you
Yeah,
are
you better have
ridiculous.
you.
And he's like, well, you know, you were kind of like in my room last week, and she was like using you, but whatever. And he looks all like
You better have
defeated.
You better have a really long nope rope to reach
I
my room.
really
at the end.
kind of like love this because she's like, shut the fuck up. And he's just like, come on, it's a good idea. And she's like, no.
He's like, yeah, like he says, you need loving just as much as I do. And she's like, yeah, maybe.
She's like,
And it might happen.
maybe.
But not anytime
I'm getting
soon.
it with a
When I
college
need it,
student.
but
So
he doesn't need to know that right now.
And then shuts the door in his face.
Right.
In his face. And he's just like,
I love it. I love it.
I want to
No,
see
the
JR go to the
groveling is
amusement park with
hilarious.
John Ross, though.
The groveling
what?
is hilarious.
no, it is, yeah.
It really is because you know how he is. He is upset. He wants Sue Ellen back in his room because she's not. Because she wants nothing to do with him. That's why he wants her back.
Of course.
You
yeah.
can't always get what you want, JR.
Well, he thinks so. He thinks he can.
I want to see JR and John Ross at the amusement park, not Peter at the amusement park though, or fishing with Bobby and Kristen.
Right. Yeah. I love that he asked if Peter could go with, and JR's like, no, he can't.
That's so funny.
No.
He's such a little
Again,
innocent
he was
kid
your
question,
summer camp
but-
counselor.
Yeah. And
I
then
didn't ask for my summer camp counselors to come over all the time. I never asked for them to come over when I was little.
Well,
Camp
I
was
don't know,
over, we
man.
went
Did
home.
you
That's
grow
it.
up
That's
rich
the
in
end
a
of it.
mansion with no other kids around and then, like, be woken up in the middle of the night by a house fire and be traumatized severely? Your lives are a little different.
that's a good point.
Only when I stayed at my aunt's house. Only when I stayed at my aunt's house.
You were only traumatized by fire when you stayed at your aunt's house. Fair.
Only stayed at a rich place.
Yes.
So we cut to Ray and Donna's at night, and they've had Clayton and Ellie over for dinner, and now they're having some after dinner drinks.
I
Was
like
this
this exchange.
after the cattle auction? Like, was this the same night?
I think so. I
Careful,
think it's
baby.
they probably came home, and then they all just had dinner together. And I like that they had it at Donna and Ray's.
Okay. Again, this is another Dallas scene that's just.
Yeah, but it's
I like that.
important
Same
because it's
people.
all about them wanting Ellie to set a date, and she is dragging her feet.
Not only
What's
that, I've
going on
also
there,
realized
Ellie?
that literally everybody on this show, except for like JR at this point, would be happy to sit down at that table in that house. And he would walk into that place like that and be like, this is the bunkhouse. You know, and like Miss Ellie, the matriarch, and Clayton, they're like, for them to go over there and like have dinner there,
Yeah,
they're humble. They're rich, but they're humble.
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Again, like you said, not JR.
No.
Sometimes it makes me wonder how she could have raised that, but then I remember Jock was part of that too.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jock was dragging him out into the oil fields and over to Ewan Oil. And
JR is
that
what
from a young
happens when
age.
you take a boy away from his mother too young.
yes, and even she acknowledges as a
Barnes
Junior,
Wentworth?
you were born old.
Exactly.
Basically.
Marilee is there to see Cliff.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What should I do with her? Or, yeah, what should I do with her? That's how you talk about Marilee. You're like, yeah, Marilee Stone is here. What should I do with her?
Dangle her out the window like Michael Jackson did with his baby.
Basically, like, what do I do with this bitch? Like, does she come in? Do I send her on her way? Like, what?
Right. And Pam's like, you know what? Bring her in. I want a word. So she brings her in and then basically gives her a piece of her mind about Marilee and Cliff's situationship, whatever it is.
And yeah, and Marilee's like, none of your business. And Pam's like, yeah, it is.
She's
Like, there's
just like-
innocent people involved in this.
Yeah. And she just lets Pam speak and say her thing. Then she's like, you know what? I really do appreciate your advice, but I think you need, if you're going to be giving other people advice, you really need to get your own shit in order for your life before you tell people how to run theirs. And boom, mic drop. And then Marilee just walks out. I'm like, yeah, because it's true.
I mean, it was kind
That's
of
our
badass.
Fern
yeah, it was.
Fitzgerald. That's our Fern. That's our
Yeah,
Fern.
I mean,
dropping
It's one of those
bombs.
Marilee being, because one of Pam's judgy moments. I mean, not that she's wrong. She's not wrong, but
She's
being
not
judgy.
wrong. But
and she
Marilee's
does
like,
have her own
I
stuff.
know I'm a hot mess, girl. Like,
She's like, I'm not
you're
pretending
not telling me
otherwise.
anything. I'm not pretending otherwise, but what's this? What's this right here? That's what basically what she was doing. Yeah, what
She's
is
like,
that?
I'm sorry, glass houses? Yeah. Put those rocks
Yeah,
down.
it's something about throwing stones.
Yeah.
And Pam is
she's been a hot mess. She's been a hot mess since Seth Stone committed suicide.
Well, yeah, as you would be.
yeah, as you would be.
And now she's had to
And
change her
she,
entire life, you know?
right, to think she used to be that dark-haired DOA lady, and
And
now
she's a blonde
running his
bombshell.
company.
And Marilee be pretty hot. Just saying.
Marilee be pretty hot. Yeah, she'd
Yeah.
be pretty hot.
Yeah.
Fern Fitzgerald herself is still pretty damn attractive, even without a head of hair on her. Like, because of her, it was because of her surgery, right?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, gorgeous. Like, she had a Donna hat on, like one that could like poke your eye out.
She's
When
like
we saw her
Sinead
in March.
O'Connor. Like, she doesn't need
Yeah,
hair. Like, she's
she doesn't
beautiful
need
enough.
hair.
I
She's just
couldn't pull that
gorgeous.
off. Could not pull that off.
No, I would look so fucking weird. Oh my god.
I would then just be
Cone
like,
head.
look at that big round head. Yeah, I couldn't do it. But
And Beldar,
they can.
this is my wife Primat. We are from
Like,
France.
oh my god. God, this is scary. Look at that. Like, okay. I'm freaking myself out now.
Anything
My
else about
brother
this
was a
scene?
cone head when he was a baby. His head literally came up into a cone when he was a baby.
That happens.
Yeah.
That
for
happens.
A long birth. Yeah.
So
the Oil Barons Club afternoon. JR is now dining with Edgar.
he wants croissant.
Croissant.
Croissant. I picked up on that. Croissant.
Does Edgar basically have a corner room at the Oil Barons? We only see him eating there a lot of the time.
That seems to be what he's doing right now. Wait, I mean, he's in town. I mean, he doesn't live there, so what else is he doing?
Isn't he a politician?
He has
is
a
the
government job.
something of the Intercontinental Shelf.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay, I was like,
So
what
I'm sure
does he do with the government? Yeah, he does something that involves
doing
blackmail.
something there, but
He's doing something.
He's still out of
So-
town. He's
It must be a nearby
getting ready
hotel.
to resign his position.
probably.
Getting ready
Yeah.
to resign his position.
Yeah.
of
Because
what
JR's
he's
basically
doing.
like, where are you standing, like, with my offer or my proposal? And he's like, here's what you can do with that. You can go straight to hell. I've already written my letter of
Right like
resignation.
that, right there.
And then JR's like, not so quick. No, you're not. You're not doing that because I don't want you to do that. You're not quitting because you need to be there to give me the information. He's like, yeah, I just said I'm not going to do that. He's like, right. But if you don't do it, I'm going to release all that information to everybody. And everything in your life is over.
JR's basically like, he's doing the whole, I think you should leave stuff. Like, are you sure about that?
You sure about
You
that?
sure about that?
Exactly.
And then he orders the bouillabaisse.
Yeah. And then
Bouillabaisse and croissants. Okay.
right. And
Where's Sarah when you need her? Seriously.
I know she'd be doing her French voice for sure.
Where-
He's like,
where-
Edgar's like, you would do that.
Croissant.
You would do that, wouldn't you? And
Croissant.
JR
JR's like,
just
yeah.
like laughs. He's like, of course I would. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's
Like,
super fun. What are you talking
yeah.
about?
Like, I fuck with people's lives for fun.
Of course I would.
Hey, baby, come here. Come on.
In fact, I used to pull the wings off of flies when I was a child just
Right.
to watch them suffer.
He's like, but you know what? You don't have to worry about that because you're going to stay in your job and you're going to give me the information I need. And then your secret is safe with me as long as you do that. And we're going to do great business together. And you can just see like Edgar's face crumble at the end of the scene.
And everybody will be happy.
Except Edgar. Okay, Cody's wishes cocktails. Sly is meeting with Cliff.
Cocktails.
And she tells him everything she's supposed to. And Cliff is kind of let down by this information because he wanted more tea about Edgar. And she says, sorry, nothing there. And then this is what I got a screen grab of this actually, because then he literally thanks her for the tea. He says, thanks for the I had to rewind it. I was like, wait, what? Because he was drinking tea. So but it works both ways. He's like, thanks for the tea. And these French fries are lousy. And
Yeah,
A
I was like,
double
if it's not
entendre.
Chinese
A double
food,
entendre.
like you hate it. Like seriously. But that's interesting. I didn't even pick up the part about the tea. I was just like, why are you complaining about the fries? Like, if it's not Chinese food, it's not good enough.
that's
like,
he only wants Chinese food.
all the time.
Or all of his food should be
Oh.
served in Chinese food containers, those paper
Yeah.
cups. No matter what,
Just
what,
put the
it could
fries
be
in the
Italian or
container.
Mexican. Just put it in the container.
Yeah.
Yes, and give him some of that yang yang Korean sauce or whatever. You can pour them over and make like Chinese poutine or something.
So we got to Ewing Oil. Bobby calls Travis to tell him I'm in like Flynn Man, and Travis is excited. And then Phyllis beeps because Catherine has arrived.
Oh, boy.
And this will be the first time they've seen each other since she told him that she was basically completely in love with him. So it's gonna be awkward.
Was that on that picnic where
Yeah,
he
on
also
the
took
picnic.
Jenna Morgan Fairchild
Yeah,
on a
Jenna number
picnic
one.
too?
And so he looks a little nervous, and then Catherine comes in and she looks nervous, and it's super awkward. And then she's just like, okay, this is awkward. And she's like, I just have to tell you that why I went to Rome. And then he's like, what? And so she tells him she went to Rome to figure out her feelings, and when she was there, she realized that it was stupid and it wasn't real, and that she was just lonely and confused. And she's like, it wasn't really my feelings. I'm just so wrapped up in Pam and you, and can we just forget it, because I just don't want this to ruin our friendship, and Bobby wants to forget it. So he's like, yes, forgotten, done.
And also, while I was there, I went and looked for the birth certificate with your name on it for your waitress
Yeah, she leaves that
lover's
part out.
daughter. But you'll find out later.
Yeah, and then they hug, and then they hug, and then she just like slowly opens her eyes and like looks at him longingly, and then I swear to God, she's like smelling him, like taking in his essence. Like, girl.
I'm not exactly sure what her mental illness is, but it's there. The
Mhm.
look on her eyes when she was doing that, I was like,
She's
You
literally
are-
like smelling him, like
you are messed up.
breathing him in. Girl.
There is something wrong with you.
She's sucking down essence of Bobby.
Oh, de Bobby.
I'm not even going there. Okay. And then this next scene is funny because it's not bowling, but Peter and Swellen are ice skating. Kind of. Well, Swellen's ice skating. Peter is falling. He's Bambi on the ice.
And I like
Sam.
the aerial shot from above of them.
Yeah.
Trying to skate.
Where it's 100% not Linda Gray.
Right.
So yeah, so Peter and Swellen are she's helping him ice skate, and he's like, okay, this is not what I had in mind. Maybe we could, like, instead of this, we could go like sailing, or we could go on like picnic, just the two of us. And
Part
she's
of the
just
problem
like,
is
nope.
he needs hockey skates, first of all. They put him in figure skates. Come on. The worst.
I don't think that they gave out hockey skates in situations like that back then. It was all figure skates. Yeah.
No, you just go rent skates. I don't know what kind they give you. It's just skate rental.
Sometimes if it's a fancy place, they'll give you either figure skates or hockey skates. But I'm guessing in the 80s it was probably figure skates. I'm guessing.
Probably.
Anyway. But she's like, nope, I like being here. And the unsaid part was, I like being here with people so that we cannot have sex.
And
yes. Yes, that is it.
And I like being in a place where nobody I know might see us together.
Even though I'm pretty sure that's the same like mall that she went to with Clayton, right after she found out that she didn't do something.
Is that the Galleria?
After she didn't do something.
Yeah, remember she was guilty because she thought she was the reason that Mickey died.
Oh, yeah,
got in the accident. And she
kind of was, but
right.
But yeah.
She went with Clayton, and that's where they were hanging out. They were looking at that skating rink.
That's right.
So it must be like the local
That's
mall?
that's not the Galleria, is it? In downtown Dallas that has the skating rink in it, maybe.
I think it is.
That's the same place where Bobby and Christopher and Lisa Alden went skating.
Right. Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe. Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
Meanwhile,
where am I?
Cliff barges in on Pam.
Yes, Cliff. So Pam gives him shit about Marilee, and he's just like, you know what? Back off. You have no idea what's happening. Go away.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Not so much of a filler scene, but it's just kind of like it's Pam and Cliff doing their thing, but like Pam's not wrong.
More Pam lectures. She lectures him about
Pam lectures.
Taking his because he's like saying that he wants to buy. She's like, can you just take your time? Like, you don't have to do all this at once. You can slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for juvenile. Vienna waits for you. And he's like,
thank you, Billy Joel.
Yeah. He's like, you have a point. And then says to forget what he said before, that he just wants to do business with his sister.
Aww.
He wants
so nice
family business with her. And everybody goes, oh, and blood is thicker than water, which is thicker than oil, or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Oil is thicker than both.
And we cut to Peter and Swellen eating is that the food court?
Yeah.
They're in the food court.
Yeah.
And they decide that because someone's like, "What? Time to get home? Because so we gotta go. Because I gotta get home." And then they run
She is
into
definitely not going to run into anyone from her social circle at a food.
right.
They run into people from his.
Forgetting about his. Yeah, they run into his old roommate, which
They're
this
basically
is his
like, yeah,
It's
Jerry.
Jerry
Jerry. Yeah,
Jerry, hot Jerry.
hot Jerry. Which this is his
Hot-
second
Tony-
and
and
last
Tony-
appearance on
That
Dallas.
sucks. But yeah, it's hot Jerry.
and Tony Danza's ex-girlfriend on Who's the Boss is at the table.
It's hot
That's
Jerry
Jerry.
and people.
Yeah, I knew that I recognized them from something, and I think was that the blonde or was it the
The
dark
blonde,
one?
the blonde who was also on Falcon Crest, but you didn't watch
She
Falcon
was
Crest, did
also
you?
in my mind. I can picture her in some movie where she's like a total bitch.
Like a movie of the week type of a deal.
No.
Somebody look up Kate Vernon, please, in our chat and let us know what her.
Like I can picture. I should have looked it up earlier, but I didn't. But anyway, yeah, they are. It gets awkward because they assume that she is Mrs. Richards, Peter's mom. It just instantly gets super awkward because it was like, "Oh no, I'm not his mom. Nope."
And Jerry makes the comment, yeah, she's trying to get him to tutor her son or something like that.
Like, I bet she is. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, this whole
tutor her.
scene is just cringe, but I feel like it's also like a light bulb goes off for her. Finally. Like, she's been back and forth, like, okay, and now it's just like, oh shit, this is not. And
People
she's also
see
like
us a certain way. too.
embarrassed
It's like
and ashamed and like, God, nobody can see this. Nobody can know about this.
What is the actress's name?
Kate Vernon.
Kate Vernon.
And from there, we had no lead up to this. We have JR and Catherine finishing coitus interruptus.
Yeah, like out of nowhere.
Like, how? Why? What?
But it was kind of like Catherine's like, this was always going to happen, and that's not wrong. Yes, it was always going to happen, but
I literally just put, bro, what the fuck?
right.
I've seen it before. I knew it was gonna happen, but like this is twisted. What JR
There was no
has done?
lead into it. There were no seeds dropped right before it happened that they were going to end up in bed
Well, like surprise, but on top of that surprise is JR's little surprise.
Yeah,
together.
he's
That one,
surprised.
yes.
That surprise.
Yeah, because he's just like he realizes that she just slept with him because she wants something. She's like, well, I just gave you what I know you wanted, so now I want you to break up Bobby and Jenna.
And JR's like,
I'm not breaking them up.
I'm not
He's
breaking
like-
them up. And by the way, I recorded us having sex.
And she doesn't understand what that means. And then he's like,
He pulls out a
"You-
tape recorder,
Then he explains the
and
I
she's
guess
like,
what
so.
we'll refer to as the Holly Harwood situation.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, fuck,
Mm-hmm.
that's a thing. No.
No, I
JR's basically
shot
like,
myself in the foot.
JR's basically like, yeah, I got to her, and then there was no chance with Bobby after that. So guess what, sucker?
Yeah.
Basically.
She's just like,
Game,
she
set,
knows.
match.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Catherine's like, this motherfucker, he's
God
gonna
damn
die. Yeah. Again, I
She's
don't
been
know
had.
what her mental illness is, but it's there.
Oh yeah, he's so there
It is there. She hides it very well for the most part.
for the most part.
We can see through it.
I figured out what she was in. She is one of the mean girls in Pretty in Pink. Mhm.
Okay.
Christopher's had a bad dream.
Now, is Hop on My Thumb a real book?
That's like, I don't know.
We're
But
gonna have to look that up too.
I noticed it's something I've never noticed before, like until now, which is crazy because she's been in a whole bunch of scenes with children, but I've noticed Victoria is really good with kids for not being a mom. Like, I don't even think she was a stepmom quite yet at this point. Almost.
She's probably a cool aunt.
Yeah. But she's like really, really.
That is a good point.
And then Porn Stash calls.
Of course he does.
Porn stash.
Porn star.
Hold on.
He says he's still where? Is it like Houston or something like that? Or he's away doing business?
Yeah, he's
Waco,
businessing somewhere.
He's
And,
businessing so
He's
much.
businessing somewhere, and
Porn
he's just so busy. And she's like, "Can you tell me, like, which hotel are you at, so I can call you back tomorrow?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, baby. I have meetings, and I
worry,
have to be
baby."
somewhere else in the morning." So,
Then he hangs up the phone
and then we see,
and the camera pulls back.
and where is he? He's laying in bed with a nurse, but that nurse is a real nurse.
Ooh.
Because he's in the hospital. And so now we know he's in the hospital, and he is not telling Pam. He is. And he's having tests.
Probably trying to get that knee checked out.
Things that make you go, And then Bobby and Jenna come home after the opening. We missed the whole opening of the boutique, which I personally would have liked to see, but And they are both.
Apparently, Ellie and Clayton were at that too.
Yeah. And they are both giggly and drunk, a little drunk.
Champagne.
And she tells him that, she's like, you make me so happy. And as hard as I've tried, I think I'm falling in love with you again. And
girl, he financed your boutique. He was your first love, and you're just now telling him that?
Like, she was really trying not. She really was. She was like, I don't. She knows he has ex-wife issues, so she's really trying to play it cool.
Back and forth between, like, why not be honest with him? But at the same time, I understand her hesitancy, kind of. But at the same time,
I think I don't know. She has a big fear of vulnerability, is what I think. And
relatable.
Because, I think Jenna number 2, I think fell right back into feelings for Bobby in 1980. It was like, you know what? I want to be with you.
No, yeah.
And then thought that was going to be a thing. But then he totally ghosted her for his wife, and I think that really hurt her feelings. So she's been trying to be careful. And then we find out
Once bitten,
that
twice shy.
Like, girl.
They both have
if
hurt
you
each
know,
other in the past.
you know.
Right.
If you know, you know.
And she knows. Of course she knows. She's always been in love with Bobby. And I'm
going to cue up a little air supply music under here. Lost in Love.
Yeah. Because we find out that Charlie is not here, and she's like, hey, do you want to come upstairs? And he's kind of like,
you want to
test
out my mattress?
She's basically like, I set a little trap for you because I want you to have sex with me. I have been saying it for a while, and I have set this up, a whole situation for that to happen. Is this going to work? And then Bobby's just like, yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah. Let's go take that mattress for a spin. Let's go take that mattress for a ride.
Nostalgia.
Seriously though, how long has it been? Like 15 years?
For the two of them? Oh yeah. 13 years. Well, 14 years?
Ish, yeah.
Because if there's a possibility that Charlie could be his.
That's right, yeah.
But this marks the first time in the series that Bobby has had sex with anyone other than Pam. So I guess, like, take a shot if you've got one. Yeah.
Agua.
Okay, South Fork, Ellie and Clayton have just come home from the opening. Ellie wants a brandy, and she fills us in even more about the history of Bobby and Jenna and how she's known Jenna like her whole life and blah, blah, blah. And then that leads them to talking about their own relationship. And then Clayton starts like hinting at nights and stuff, and Ellie starts getting a little weird. And he can tell that she's getting weird. And she's like, well, look at the time. I gotta go to bed. And he's like, okay. So, but then he pushes it. He's like, hey.
Clayton, you don't want to have sex in that house. The walls are thin. Jared Swellen are going to hear you. John Ross is going to hear you and have nightmares.
He's like straightforward. At first he's like hinting, and then he's just straightforward. She's about to walk upstairs. He doesn't grab her, but grabs onto her, and he's like, look.
He's like, hey. And she's like,
she's like, there is nothing for me.
He verbally grabs her. That's
well, he just looks her in the face, and he's like, there's nothing for me back in my hotel room. I could stay here, and we could spend our first night together, and that might be really nice, because this has been a great night. And then she loses it, starts crying, and says like she's wrong, and she was wrong to say she'd marry him because she can't marry him, she can't marry anybody. And he's like, what are you talking about? She's like, you don't know me. He's like, of course I do. And she's like, you don't know anything about me. And she turns around and cries and runs upstairs.
I know what this is about.
And it freezes.
This is a self-esteem issue.
Totally self-esteem issue.
In the foyer.
Yeah, it's a freeze frame on Clayton looking confused and frustrated up the stairs. So it's not JR, so drink twice.
And scene.
And scene. Finn. Okay, so I am giving this 4.7 bourbons and the opening of Jenna's boutique.
I was going at a 4.75 and
Wow, even okay, nice. Okay.
yeah, and a tray of those delicious blueberry muffins from the opening scene.
You know what? I'm gonna do a 4.9 because this is the first time Bobby and Jenna do it.
Fair.
So I'm changing mine.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
You just want to do it. Well, I'm going to go with a 4.95. No, just kidding.
I mean, I have no
Melanie's turn.
opposition to that.
I am going to do, let's see, 4.75 be an original like that. What am I going to give it? I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it Chinese food just to shut Cliff up about the damn French fries. Because I like
Yeah,
Chinese
take
food
some
too.
Chinese food.
I don't eat it
I
often
mean, I do too.
enough. Last time I ate it though, I got sick like right after.
It can happen.
I don't think we're ordering
it's
from
good.
there again.
All this talk of Chinese food, I am probably going to have to get Chinese food on my break at the mall tomorrow at the food court.
Do it.
Now that
I love mall Chinese food. It's so
we
nostalgic.
have the one that I don't know if it's a chain around the country. It's like Sarku, the Japanese stir fry
I don't know
place
that
in
one.
there in food courts. A lot of these places, I now have the apps on my phone, so I can put the order in downstairs and just go up and pick it up. Because
That's
I had an
nice.
hour break one day, and I wasted 20 minutes going up to the break room, take off the bunny suit, going over to the food court, and coming back with the food. So now bunny suit comes off in the service hallway right next to where the bunny area is. Go over, get the food, come back, eat on the couch right out front, because nobody knows who I am when I take off that costume. And then I go
That's
back
true.
out back.
Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time, which could be next week. We'll have to see.
Hopefully.
I'm going to be going out of town,
We will
so hopefully we can do it on
We
Monday.
will be discussing Eye of the Beholder, which is the next episode.
Yes, Eye of the Beholder, season 7, episode 17, episode 148.
Eye of the Beholder.
148.
Yeah, awesome.
Halfway through now.
296.
Are we more than halfway through?
No,
Isn't
because
it?
if you count the new series, if you count the new series, you're going up to like 200. You're going up to 400 or something.
I think
If you count the new series, yeah.
But the old series, they're 356
Isn't it
episodes.
356?
57.
Okay.
Yeah.
357.
Oh, we're not quite through. Oh, halfway through yet.
They originally,
Well, you
when
know
it
what?
originally ended, is originally 356 because it was on the front of the magazine.
So halfway through would be 178. Never mind. I can't math.
And when it
Don't
went into
tell anybody I work with.
syndication, they split that hour and called it 357.
Right.
They
Fair.
split
So,
that
but
last
it was
time.
not
Yes.
originally. So they're both right.
Right.
So
Yes.
okay,
I go by
so
357 because it gives us one more episode.
I do 356 because that's just what I said for like 20 years. Whatever. It
And
doesn't
then
really matter.
then there are the movies, and then there's the new series, which takes us up to around 400-ish. So we got a little while to go, people.
We'll see you next time. Okay, bye.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Not y'all.
The Ewing Barbecue Podcast is a Stitches creative production. Produced, edited, and graphic designed by Mary Louise Hutter. That's me. Social media by Josh Eilberg and Brad Mulholland. Our South Fork expert and behind-the-scenes helper is Jenna Tim. Please check out our website, ewingbbq.com, for all things Dallas and Ewing Barbecue related. Copyright 2025. Sit, Bella Lugosi, sit. Good dog.
Next on Dallas.
They're spending company money?
I let you in on the last Travis Boyd deal, and you sat on it so long, Cliff Barnes swiped it right out from under our nose.
Don't push me on this.
I might bounce you off a couple walls, but I won't push you. Now sign it.
The wedding is off. I explained everything to Clayton. I don't think I have to go through it again with you.
Mr. Barnes is setting himself up for the biggest fall in the history of independent oil companies.
It's your mama I want to talk to.
But she didn't want to talk to you.
You don't think that you're going to try to stop me?
Well, I think this'll stop you.